In the heart of an ancient kingdom nestled between silent mountains and whispering rivers, there stood a monastery where monks lived in serene harmony. But one room in the monastery remained forever empty. The reason? A chilling story. The room was haunted by a ghost who knew everything. And worse still, it whispered your deepest fears into your ear when you tried to sleep. Few dared to speak of it, but one young monk, Ananda, driven by curiosity and courage, or perhaps something more, decided to enter the forbidden room. He believed wisdom was worth the price of fear. What happened that night changed his life and the monastery forever. Ananda was not like the other monks. While others chanted with folded hands, he asked questions. While others accepted wisdom from scriptures, he sought it through experience, not to rebel, but to understand. The truth, he believed, is not something handed to you. It's something you must walk into, even if it's dark. So when he heard of the room haunted by the ghost who knew everything, he didn't scoff like the novices, nor shiver like the elders. Instead, he quietly walked up to the old master and asked, "Is the ghost real?" The master, his eyes clouded with age but soul still luminous, simply said, "The ghost is as real as the fear inside you." That night, Ananda packed nothing but a small lamp and his courage. He entered the room, shut the wooden door, and sat cross-legged in the center. The room was silent. Dust particles danced in the flickering light. Hours passed. Then it began. A whisper, not loud but piercing, curled into his ears. "You're not as brave as you think. You just want to prove something." He opened his eyes. No one was there. You fear failure. That's why you keep seeking answers. You think if you know enough, you won't fall short. His heartbeat quickened. The whispers continued, each word striking a nerve he didn't know existed. You envy the senior monks. You think they've earned peace you haven't. You hide behind curiosity, but you're just afraid of stillness. Ananda trembled. This wasn't a ghost in chains or shadows. It was a ghost that knew him. Not just the face he showed others, but the silent voice inside him. The doubts, the regrets, the guilt. His first instinct was to run, but he stayed. With a dry throat and shaking breath, he whispered, "What do you want?" And then the ghost said something strange. "To be seen." "Seen?" Ananda asked, confused. The ghost didn't answer in words anymore, but in memories. Visions swirled in his mind, moments he had buried deep. The time he lied to his mother and never apologized. The time he pretended to understand a teaching but felt lost. The time he laughed when someone stumbled just to fit in. These weren't dramatic sins, just forgotten fragments. But each held emotion, guilt, shame, insecurity. He had carried them like invisible stones, thinking time would dissolve their weight. But they hadn't disappeared. They had become the ghost. And that ghost had lived in him all along. As dawn neared, Ananda did something he'd never done before. He didn't chant. He didn't fight the fear. He simply sat still and listened. He let the ghost speak. He didn't defend or rationalize. He acknowledged every truth. And then he said softly, "I see you now, and I forgive you." When the door creaked open at sunrise, the other monks expected to find Ananda pale and broken, or worse, gone mad. Instead, he stepped out, silent, eyes red but smiling. From that day, the haunted room wasn't feared anymore. Ananda began guiding others into it, not to test courage, but to meet their own ghosts. He renamed it the Room of Truth. And the ghost? Some say it vanished. Others say it still whispers, but now as a guide, not a tormentor. Ananda later told the master, "The ghost didn't want to hurt us. It wanted to be acknowledged. It fed on our silence, not our sins." The master nodded and said, "We all carry ghosts, but only when we face them can they become our teachers." This story isn't just about Ananda or a monastery or a whispering room. It's about you. Everyone has a ghost. It may not live in a locked room, but in memories, regrets, fears, or truths you don't want to face. We often run from these inner voices. We drown them with noise, distractions, achievement, or denial. But the longer we ignore them, the more power they gain. Like shadows, they grow in silence. The path to peace isn't the absence of fear. It's the willingness to listen to it, understand it, and walk through it. So, next time your ghost whispers at night, don't run. Sit with it. Ask what it wants. You might be surprised, because sometimes the ghost that haunts you is just the part of you waiting to be healed. If you liked the video, do like, share, and subscribe.